1470 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We have in the studio Kerry Crawford. Kerry is running for the office of Marion County Sheriff, and boy, oh boy, he's got a resume. His career spans 36 years serving in Marion County as a law enforcement professional, 26 of those in a supervisory management position, to include 7 years in senior command. I'm reading from the website Robin found. He's been a leader in to bureaus consisting of over 300 deputies and led projects that encompass the entire sheriff's office. So you obviously, sir, have invested your life in law enforcement, and thank you for that. I appreciate law enforcement. I don't know if anybody told you my dad was a policeman up in New York City for some while. And Shane Finch is joining us. Are you going to talk today, Shane? No. We know Shane. Shane sat in for us one time. We broke the rules in radio.
There you go.
Shane was at, where were you at? What was that station? Are you still there?
No, sir.
No. What station was that? Was that MFQ?
WTRS and WMFQ.
TRS, yes. And I had to take the day off or whatever. I don't know what it was. Was he getting divorced?
No, Alex had a school award that he was
school
getting.
award.
So Shane came in and sat with us for 3 hours.
Sat with Robin.
And that was such fun, too.
It
We
was
talked
fun.
about bathrobes and everything that
It was
day.
the
That
Robin
was
and
cool.
Shane show.
She remembers it much better than I do.
And me. Everything she remembers better than I do. Kerry, well, good to meet you. Nice. Thank you for coming in today.
I really appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
And I mean what I say when I say thank you for your devoted time to law enforcement. My dad would always say it is a thankless profession. People don't realize.
It has its moments where you wonder if people really appreciate what you go through, but I'll promise you during my career, I had many, many instances where I knew that what I was doing was making a difference. It's not a cliche.
Absolutely.
When you have people
No, it's
sincerely tell you the things that you did that impacted them and helped them in their lives, it was great. I really felt great with my career.
So let me ask you this. In the early days of your career, did you appreciate the decisions that were being made that affected you by those who were your superiors?
Generally, yes.
Yes, okay.
Absolutely. I was blessed to work with a lot of great administrators. I started my career at the Ocala Police Department. I was there for 5 years, worked under Chief Ailey McGehee there.
Okay. Oh, wow.
He was
Okay.
very innovative. He was very contemporary in his approach to things. Started in that realm of moving law enforcement from the past into the future. So he was quite the visionary, and you started seeing some things happening under his watch during that time.
Your mom was there at that time, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Robin's mom was with dispatch or
Yeah, she
communications.
was a dispatcher.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Beverly Pronto, and
I
then she got
remember
married.
her.
Yeah, that's my mom.
I have seen your mom recently, as a matter of fact.
At the retirement parties.
Right. We
Yeah.
have a little group of retirees that get together. There's two different groups of them. One is called Romeo, which is an acronym for Retired Old Men Eating Out.
Oh, I can't wait to get to that day.
Yeah, the truth hurts. And then the other part.
That sounds fun.
There's another group from the police department of retirees that meet for lunches once a month, and I've seen your mom there. She was always real easy to work with. I enjoyed your mom.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll tell her you said that,
Thank
too.
you.
I'm going to be stuck on that one, Romeo. All right. So, and the reason I asked you about appreciate, because we don't always, when we enter a career, we don't always appreciate decisions that are made by our superiors, because we think, oh my gosh, if I ever get to that position, I'm going to change this, that, and the other thing. And now you're knocking on that door. You're going to be, putting your name up before the voters, and
I am, and I'm looking forward to that opportunity. To continue what I was saying a minute ago. When you learn from people that have been there before you, everybody, even a bad supervisor or manager, you can learn from. You learn sometimes what not to do.
oh, well, that's the only thing you can learn from a bad one.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
I guess.
I went from Chief McGehee to Sheriff Don Moreland. He's the one that hired me at the police department, and from the police department. And, our reputation for the Marion County Sheriff's Office at that time was revered throughout the state as a premier organization. Our integrity and our professionalism, we were a top drawer organization.
It is the only position in the county, correct me if I'm wrong, where you really have an influence on every square inch of the county.
You can, and right now, the vision that I have, the sheriff's office contributes so much that people don't understand to the quality of life in the community. You know, when the CEP, for example, or the Chamber and Economic Partnership, or other entities that deal with trying to lure businesses here, they're looking at the quality of life here. The sheriff's office contributes to that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whether it's in controlling crime or in the relationships and the community development that you're doing, you've got to foster an image where you're a part of the team that makes Marion County as great a place as it is. It's critical that the sheriff's office be a part of all of those entities throughout the community.
And when I said you're the one position, and I mean that because you have the deputies that are literally everywhere in the county. The county commissioners also have an influence on every square inch, but they don't have personnel that are out there at any given moment. I mean, you've got personnel in the sheriff's department that is no matter where you turn, which is a good thing, as you point out.
That's exactly right. And the culture of the organization extends, from that leader at the top of the organization all the way down to that brand spanking new deputy that's out there talking with people as he drives through their neighborhoods and everything. It's just critical that you have that good positive image.
We are happy to get to know you, and hopefully you can stay through the break, because obviously we've done more small talk than actual campaign talk.
That's right.
So we'll kind of do the campaign talk on the other side of the break, if you don't mind.
That'd be great.
But
Look
before we get there, is this your first time campaigning for us?
It is my first time campaigning for office.
Wow.
I have been around campaigns associated with the sheriff's office before, of course, but this is my first time being the lead dog, so to speak. And I'm having a good time. I'm excited about it.
You got a Teddy Roosevelt-ness about you. Are you a fan of Teddy Roosevelt?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Are you a hunter?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are. See, Teddy Roosevelt was a big hunter.
That's right.
He still has heads on his wall.
I've seen lots of pictures of him with his big game escapades.
Yeah. I used to live near the house he lived in, and I remember walking through the house and seeing all the heads on the walls.
I like the fact that you trained firearms task forces.
Right.
So that's like first and foremost for people. They want the right to bear arms.
Absolutely, and I am a proponent of the Second Amendment. I did instruct firearms for many, many years. As a matter of fact, I sat on a statewide firearms task force board for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement as a subject matter expert on firearms training and so forth. We traveled around the state, and our group was tasked with developing the firearms training programs for all law enforcement and corrections officers in the state of Florida. And I was privileged to be the one from the group that made the presentation to the Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission at that time to get all that approved for the state.
Does the world scene affect, as a long-term law enforcement professional, the world now is knocking on our door in Marion County?
Yes.
When you first started, it wasn't necessarily true. I mean, it could have been, but now it really is true. I mean, we hear about, what was it? The guys who flew the planes into the World Trade Center trained like right down the road from here, right?
Exactly.
So, I mean, with that possibility that something horrendous could be right in our own backyard, that must change how you would approach what we do here.
It does. We implemented things back when all that happened, of course, to try to protect our territory here in Marion County. Sheriff Dean at that time, developed some things working with the Department of Homeland Security for us to have soft target, shall we say, which is the technical term Homeland Security uses. Soft target defense. We had people that were going around volunteer programs that checked those areas and everything. Of course, we had a lot of preparation we did in the event of something. You can only prepare so much. When that event happens, there's going to be a period of chaos at the front end of it where and
everybody's going to be looking in the rearview mirror. Everybody's 20/20 hindsight, as they say.
That's right. Yeah. But our focus was to have everybody in the mindset that you revert back to your training, so that if an event happens here, we have done everything we can to prepare for that event to get control as quickly as we can.
Kerry Crawford is here, and he is a candidate for Marion County Sheriff, and we'll continue with our conversation after the break. And the break is right now. This is WOCA Ocala.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. On Friday, sunshine mixing with clouds. Watch out for an afternoon thunderstorm, high 86 near the coast, 92 inland. And partly cloudy Friday night, low 67 inland, 72 at the coast. Saturday, sunshine mixing with clouds, an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, high 85 near the coast, 92 inland. And Sunday, partly sunny, high 85 near the coast, 91 inland. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour, Russell, Mizuno, Asics, Badger Sports, Gildan, Pacific, Ogio, and many more. At LTS, screen printing embroidery is done in-house and we guarantee customer satisfaction. Stop by, give us a call, or check us out on the web at shoplts.com. Remember the name, LTS.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 572-2510. That's 572-2510.
At the car wash. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Is pollen turning your car yellow?
Does your truck look brown from so much dirt?
Well, Grace Presbyterian Youth and Sears are here to help. Come by the Sears Auto Center on Saturday, April 30th
from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
and we will help turn your car back to its original color.
The car wash is free, but donations are accepted.
So don't forget, Saturday, April 30th, 10 to 2.
At Sears Auto Center.
The car wash. Whoa.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY only $4.99. Plus DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
All right, 18 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Kerry Crawford is in the studio with Shane Finch. Shane's been a friend for a long time, and it sounds like Shane and Kerry have been friends for a long time. But can I say the nickname you call him, or no? Is that a secret?
No, I think you can say it. Can't
Crow. You call him Crow. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool, Sheriff Crow.
I don't know how I like that.
Are you still? Did you retire, or are you still a deputy?
I did. I retired about 3-4 years ago now, and I was enjoying retirement. I enjoyed being able to do what I wanted when I wanted. For 14 years or so now, I've been heavily involved in different community projects and boards around town. And it was always things that I chose to get involved in, not things I was assigned to do as a part of a job. But I never did stop doing any of that when I retired. I'm still on several boards. I'm president of 2 or 3 of those boards. And I just have this heart for service. So even in retirement, I wanted to still be able to give something back.
That is really typical of law enforcement professionals, though.
It can be, yes. Sometimes everybody, some of our folks just want to head to the mountains and just not do anything but watch the sunrise and sunset. I enjoy that, but at the same time, I enjoy the opportunity to give something back and to be networked and to kind of stay current, stay energized. So gives you something to get up for every morning.
So do a little campaign, and if you would, the listeners who are saying, oh, this gentleman is running for sheriff, let's hear what he wants to do. So they're probably saying, Larry and Robin, stop asking small-time talk. Let's find out what is your vision, and does your vision include why you chose to come out of retirement and seek the office?
It absolutely does. I'll just be very blunt. I'm embarrassed by the things that are going on at the sheriff's office right now. I'm very concerned about the administration and the direction of the sheriff's office. I know there's a lot of folks out there that attend town hall meetings and different programs that the sheriff's office provides and everything. They're only getting one side of the equation. They're not hearing the problems that exist there. There's some manipulation of facts and numbers that are concerning that the public needs to know about. You don't become a part of law enforcement for 36 years and walk away and forget about it. I'm very proud of the Marion County Sheriff's Office and the people that serve there. And I don't like what's happening. I don't like the image that we have developed.
Can you give us an example of a problem that, I don't know if you're allowed to say things that would affect us, but if it affects us as people, we should know. And maybe you could tell us what you would do differently or how you would fix the problem.
Well, there's a problem with the integrity and trust, and it started from day one. During campaigns, people that are political in nature tend to make promises just to get into office, and then you find out they're not honest about their campaign promises. That sets a stage. And for the sheriff's office, when you've campaigned that you can, run the department on the existing budget and find out, no, you can't, I'm going to ask for a $17 million increase in budget, that sets that wave of dishonesty. And you can't have dishonesty in law enforcement. I've set people across the desk from me and said, you can be short on some characteristics and be successful in this job, but integrity is not one.
So now, one of the things that we are to believe is that our deputies are leaving Marion County for other counties because they pay better, and that supports the idea for asking for more money.
That's only part of the reason people are leaving. There's a system there now that exists where it's all numbers driven about how many people we can put in jail and how many cars we can seize and things like that. So we're not focused on quality. We're not focused on doing the right thing. We're focused on the intimidation of, well, how many people did you put in jail this month? And putting people in jail is not always the best solution. Some of our best deputies have been problem solvers. They go into a situation and they read it and they figure out the best solution to this.
How do you do that, though? When somebody has broken the law, putting people into jail is usually the job of the judge.
Absolutely.
And law enforcement's job is to say, okay, that's a violation of the law. Let a judge figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So how does the deputy play a role?
The deputy always has some discretion, and I'll give you what should be a very obvious choice. You've got a couple of 12, 13-year-olds that go out and do something silly, knock somebody's mailbox down. They go down to the Jiffy store and steal something, 50 cents worth of candy or something like that. Is it that beneficial that person gets dealt with in the judicial system, or is that person going to be capably dealt with by the parents? If the deputy has a discretion at the place to find out what is best, these are good kids, they didn't need to go through the system. Those minor things bog the system down. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not a proponent of being weak on crime, but I am a proponent of a deputy being able to use their discretion. Here's the other side of it. If you're focused on numbers and you're living under this threat of producing numbers, and this is shown to be a problem, you're making bad cases where you're stretching, you're taking shortcuts. And that's evidenced by the fact that the state attorney's office here locally has come out publicly saying, we're starting to investigate cases brought forth by the sheriff's office. Have the deputies been honest? Have the deputies been making shortcuts? Have they been using evidence properly? Our guys are being pushed to make these arrests, causes them to take these shortcuts. That's become a huge problem. And the deputies who have a sense of integrity, a lot of them are leaving because they don't want to be pushed into this kind of system. It's not just the money.
What is the checks and balances for the sheriff himself? Does he have to answer to the governor, or is there somebody I don't know about?
Well, obviously the public.
The public, yeah.
Right. The citizenry, they put him in office. They have the ability to take him out of office by the vote. That's what we're going through now. The governor is the one that can actually remove him. But he's not accountable to the county commission. Some people feel like he is, but he's not. The only role that the county commission has is providing the funding, to give to the sheriff for his budgetary needs. That's their only role. Now, speaking of the salary, I think we have, changing the direction here a little bit, we have a unique opportunity because of the 1 cent sales tax to start correcting some of that. And part of my plan is to take advantage of that. it can get complicated to the citizenry if you talk about it, and I'll try to keep it simple. This 1 cent sales tax can only be used, that's been approved, can only be used for capital expenses. Now, by that, I mean buying cars.
Cars, yeah.
Computers.
And we need cars, right, in the sheriff's office? Okay.
Exactly. It can be used for those kind of expenses, but it can't be used for operational things like salaries.
Okay.
So none of that money will help the deputy put bologna on the table or help him be able to...
Get away from the bologna.
Okay.
It's not good for you.
No, but it's very affordable.
If it's all you can afford, that's all.
I know.
But it doesn't help the deputy be able to pay for soccer fees for his kids. They want a quality of life, too.
Yeah, right, sure.
So what that does do, though, is instead of us having to put money in our budget for capital, since it's going to be provided and supplemented by the sales tax, we can take some of that money that we have already traditionally been using and apply it toward the salaries and still be able to provide a tax break for the citizens.
Any idea what that would translate to? How many dollars?
I'm still working
or
on
a
those.
Percentage?
I can tell you that in this past budget, to give a 3% increase to the deputies cost $1.2 million. Not just the deputies, for all employees got a 3% raise.
Okay.
It costs $1.2 million. The problem we have is our starting salary is so low right now. If we bring it up to the competitive salary of other organizations at 3% a year, it would take about 8 or 9 years to even catch up. During that 8 or 9 years, the other salaries from competing agencies is going to continue to rise. So we have the benefit of having 4 years of the sales tax where we can start fixing our starting salaries. Why is that important?
Because we don't want them to leave.
We don't want them to leave. There's been a mass exodus of firemen, police, and everything. The other side of that is if you go find a doctor, you want to find the best doctor you can. If I want a deputy out there wearing a badge representing the people of this county, I want to know I've been able to select the best and the brightest candidate out there. I want to be able to go to these academies and attract people. I want to be able to go to other agencies and attract people. When I came here, we had a lot of deputies that came to the Marion County Sheriff's Offices from other organizations in the state.
This is not really a political question, but do deputies have to live in the county to work in the county?
Currently, they do. There's a policy that they have to live in the county. Some counties have gone away from that, but currently the policy is they have to live within this county.
Obviously, any radio interview is not going to be long enough to get everything that you have in mind to help us understand your positions. Do you have a website that we can tell the listeners about that'll maybe give them more information?
We're on Facebook, Crawford for Sheriff, and of course we have a website, crawfordforsheriff.com.
Okay.
And there's a lot of background on me in there as far as the toolkit that I bring to the table and everything. I feel like I've got a great amount of experience. I know where the buttons are that need to be pushed. I have proven leadership in this community and in the sheriff's office. We need to bring somebody in that is experienced, that has been there, done that. It's not a time for on-the-job training from a less experienced candidate. We've got to bring somebody in that can start from day one fixing these problems. No room for on-the-job training here.
Kerry, thank you for coming in today. This has been recorded. We'll share this on YouTube and on Facebook by 2 o'clock today, is usually when it gets on there.
Great.
And I wanted to take a moment to apologize to the listeners who were expecting you earlier today. We had a little mix-up, and it's our fault. But thank you for being gracious and not coming in here and shooting me. And when I saw Shane smile, I said, "Oh, good, everything's good." Yeah. I saw Shane smiling. So, Shane Finch, good to see you again, by the way. Thank you for coming in.
It's been way too long. You know, and it's great to be with you guys. You're always pros. And
Shane told me I did a sketch of his daughter, of his wife.
My daughter. You did sketches of two of my daughters.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
15 years ago
at least
or more.
15. She's 31 now, so she was probably 13 or 14 when it happened.
And so now who saw the picture?
That sketch is up in my office, my work office at the house, hanging on the wall, and my grandson saw that sketch, and he walked up and he said, "Mommy." Aww. Now that's a good sketch when it's 15 plus years old, and you can still recognize it. Right?
Kerry Crawford, thank you so much for coming in today. Good luck in everything you're doing, and thank you for your service to us.
I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope we've been able to share something with your listeners that's good for them.
And go to the websites, and you'll be able to find out more. We'll take a break. Be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Syria reeling as a ceasefire falls apart.
More than 200 civilians in Aleppo alone have died in the last week, including many that have died at the hands of airstrikes on medical facilities in and around Aleppo. On Wednesday night, forces loyal to the Assad regime